What's going on, friends? Joel here from Mastering Post-Production Sound. I hope you are doing well. Today I'm coming to you again on the mix stage, just wrapped. Big day of mixing over here for our show Interior Chinatown that's coming to you this year, so stay tuned. It's going to be on Hulu, so watch out. You guys will definitely know when it comes out. I will let you know. But today I want to talk to you about EQ, the EQ that I use, and kind of a little bit of my journey, my transition to what I use now, what I used to use, and how I only use like 3 or 4 presets. That's all. Very simple stuff. Don't have to overthink it. And by the end of this video, hopefully you will have another approach to using EQ for post-production sound. Hey friends, welcome back to Mastering Post-Production Sound. My name is Joel. I'm a sound re-recording mixer, been part of the post-production sound industry for the past 16 years, and I'm here to help you navigate the post-production sound industry. EQ, we all use it, right? Some of us know how to use it very well. Some of us don't know anything about it, and it terrifies us. Well, I'm gonna show you how I use it and how really you might just be overthinking it. Let's take a look at what I use. I'm gonna show you what I used to use and what I use currently. So here's my template here. These are just the effects. I'm mixing effects on this series. These are the effects. Here are the backgrounds. These are all the backgrounds tracks. And then the Foley tracks right here. Not much. So here are a couple EQs that may look familiar to you. We have the standard EQ3. We have channel strip there. So the EQ3 is an EQ that I used all the time. Like, this was it. One of the reasons it was because when I was first starting out, I didn't have money to buy plugins. I didn't. I used whatever was available to me, and that's the one. That's the one that was available to me. And I used it for years, friends. I'm talking years. It wasn't until a handful of years ago that I actually switched. Well, let's look at this. So very easy here. You'll see we have our bands here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so there's a 5-bander right there. But, pretty simple to use. You could do whatever you need to your frequencies here. If you need to boost, your low end, get some thumpiness, big heavy doors, whatever you need to do. But sometimes, we need to take some of those tones out in the BGs or whatnot. We could do that. I used this. This was my bread and butter. I loved it. And what I loved about the older consoles was that they would map out very easily on the D commands. Okay, then over here, channel strip, right? People love it. People hate it. Call it what you will. Whatever your thoughts are. Let me know in the comments below. But I use this mainly on my dialogue stuff it's very simple, just easy, right? Like that. I have a template that has this on there. Very simple to use. You can put it on music and it's versatile as well. Now, both of these, right? Both of these, they do the same thing, right? It doesn't matter. But when I found this next EQ, friends, it changed everything for me. And I'm talking about the FabFilter Pro Q3. That's it, my friends. That's it. You know it. So I became a fan. And everybody was telling me, Joel, you gotta try, FabFilter. I got on the bus on the Pro Q2 version, and then 3 came out. Well, I wanna show you literally what I have as my presets, and you could copy them yourself and use them. But let's take a look. So in here, you'll see, look at how many presets I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Really, it's 5 because these are the same. But this right here is my default. And I have 7 bands, right? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And I'm telling you guys, like, this is my default right here. I just got a little tiny here roll and a little tiny roll off there. But what I love about the Pro Q3 is I am a huge visual learner, okay? I love seeing the information be registered here with the spectrum here. And let me show you what I mean. All right, so here's some cool sound design from our sound designer, Austin Creer. Okay, so all this kind of stuff. What I love, that's enough of that. For instance, let's take a look at this. This is, I'm just gonna solo this, but this is kind of a low end thing. You'll see, look at that. All right, it does not translate for sure on this little iPhone, but you can see that information. Oh, look at that. I love seeing this. I love seeing this. And so now I can go in there, and if I want to, right, I can either boost or reduce, and it's all here within a, look at that. I could see how much I'm putting on there. You know, I could really roll it off or notch it out, rather. Let's see. Yeah, really takes a lot out. But that being said, I just love this. I love the visual of it. It's just pleasing to my eyes. And you guys, this is so deep. And I am in no, you know, by no means an expert. There are so many other people who are way better at this, but it gets the job done. And really, with my presets here, I want to take you through them. You know, if I'm working with backgrounds and I want to roll something off to get kind of like that dream kind of muffled sound, or rather muffled kind of, you know, audio, I'll roll it off, and I got a preset for it, right? And then I maybe will verb it out. But then I also have my futzes here. So I got a futz 1 there. Take a look at that. I got a futz 2, and I use these. Here's a futz 3, which I'm not using that much these days, but my futz 1 and futz 2 are anything that's computers, you know, sound for computers, or futz like going to the TV, anything like that. Phone calls, I will go, this is my go-to. And literally, it's just a click away. You know, I did some work and I got it where I liked it, but then I could just go to, you know, some of these things. I have my default here. It's my JDC default, and it just goes back to that. So I have like a baseline automation for all my tracks. I love this. I love it. And what I love about this is if I'm in a track, if I'm in a background, let's see if I can find a background with birds, let's say. We're outside and we're just hearing too many birds. Let me show you what I do. Okay. So there's a track. It's good. I realize it's hard to hear. We got some birds in the background, especially right there. Let's see that right there. Let's just loop that. Okay. Now I want to show you the graph. So that's the information. Well, that bird, let's listen. Okay. That bird can get annoying. So this is what I do. Why I love this Pro Q3 is I can now go in there and grab my notch here, my node, and notch it out. And I could, okay, I could boost it, or I could reduce it. And this is, chances are, this is what I'm gonna do here, is I'm gonna reduce, that's a little bit drastic, but now I have a background that I can experiment with notching out the birds. And I can see it, and I love it. I love it because I'm a visual guy. Let's put this in bypass and see if we can hear the difference. Now in. You see, it just takes that edge off the birds. And if I was in, let's see, I wanted to roll all this stuff off, right? What I would do is, okay, let's say right there, let's say this background right here. If I wanted to just quickly roll it off, I'm grouped here. So what I would do is I would just go here, go to my, look at that. I've taken all the high end off. Now it's just like a tone. But you know, if I want to can kind of open it up a little bit. So only a few presets, right? I only have a few. And that's really all I do. Now, of course, I use, you know, depending on the scene and stuff, maybe I'll have to go in there and notch certain tones out. But having this graph and the representation to see the wave files show up here, and I can see where things are poking out, where I can reduce stuff, where I need to reduce stuff, where the birds are chirping, and I can just literally notch it out and not lose, you know, any of the texture, but take some of the harshness away and some of that repetitiveness right here. This, I love it. I love you, FabFilter. I love this EQ. it's awesome. It has helped me so much. If we go back to the early days, using that EQ3, just a standard EQ is what I used all the time. So that's a quick look into how I use just a couple of presets to get through a television show. And it could go deep, guys. It could really go, you can go deep on this, but I use it very simply. I hope it was helpful just to kind of get a little glimpse into what I use here, but I'm a huge fan. The only thing I'm like regretting is not getting on there earlier, but it was good to learn on just a very simple EQ, because all these things do the same thing. They really do, right? They all do the same thing in theory. Some are more robust. I'm a huge fan of it, and I love it, especially for the visual aspect of the plugin, because I'm a huge visual learner. So that's all I got this week for Mastering Post-Production Sound. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. And if you're new to your journey in general in post-production sound and you want to learn the 5 core principles that I believe every post-production sound professional should master, head on over to masteringpostproductionsound.com/insider's guide to grab your free guide. You can learn all the principles, anything from curiosity to hard work, how to land your dream gig. Go check it out. My gift to you. All right, friends, thanks again. I'll catch you in next week's episode.